Hi, hello everybody, how's it going? I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again! So I'm gonna skip all the formalities this time because this video is gonna be ridiculously long, so strap in because I have no idea what this is about to be. One quick disclaimer, I don't know a lot about music, okay? I just like to listen to whatever sounds good to me. If that's rock, if that's pop, if that's even rap music, then so be it. So yeah. So if I say something wrong about a song, take it up with my lawyer, that doesn't exist. Thank you very much. Anyways, for starters, we have Abba. Abba was one of those bands that I knew existed for a very long time, but I didn't really enjoy until I came across Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man After Midnight. And then, I was all like, holy crap, this is just some top tier music. Okay, so this is where things take a hard turn. I do enjoy a good AC/DC record. The guitar riffs, are you even kidding me? Like, that is, oh my god, that gets me going. Like, Thunder is incredible. The only downside is, you can't really listen to this kind of music when you're working or painting or anything like that. This is more for those times when you're pissed off at the universe and just sitting at your desk and moping about stuff. So yeah, I think these next three records just show how kind of, all over the place my music taste is. Adele! We've got Adele. All three ages of her. She's here. She's saying hello. And she would like to know if there's somebody like you, but don't go chasing pavements. Okay, so now we've got another rock group, Aerosmith. Every single podcast that Steve Tyler does is just gold and hilarious. The only downside to this record is it doesn't have that song. I forgot what it's called. It's from Armageddon. And I don't want to think in, 'cause every time I close my eyes. Is that it? I can't really remember. What's this? Ooh! Oh! Take on me! So in grade 5, my class had a spring concert and we decided to dance to Take On Me. So what we did was we searched up the Just Dance routine and my goodness me, I danced my little heart out to that thing. Okay, so you might not know about this next young lady, but Ali X makes music for witches. I have no idea what she's singing about half the time, but it's a vibe. It really is. Her music is great. Honestly, give it a listen. It's very strange. I've never heard anything like it before. Angus and Julia Stone. Okay, so I found these guys when I was in grade 8, and I discovered Yellow Brick Road, and my life hasn't been the same since. They do have a little bit of a case of singing in cursive, but hey, you know what? If it gets the job did, I won't complain. So, remember when I said that I like to listen to hard rock? Well, I'm pretty sure that the polar opposite of that is classical music. So this is The Four Seasons by Antonio Vivaldi. Usually, the background music in my videos is classical music. So at some point, I just kind of decided I want to start listening to that music in my real life so that I feel like I'm living inside my videos. So that's what happened. But you feel really bougie and expensive listening to it also. Like, it feels like you've upgraded your brain, if that makes sense. I'm not like other people. I listen to really underground music, like the Arctic Monkeys. These guys are they really do kick ass, This was actually one of the first records I bought, Tranquility Based Hotel and Casino. And then I actually went after their first one. Aurora! I've talked about this woman before. This is another one of those women that makes witch music, and I'm not complaining because it's just freaking amazing. Barbra Streisand. This is the only Barbra Streisand record I own at the moment because they're just so damn difficult to find on Amazon. I usually like to buy my records used just because it's a lot cheaper, but this is one of my favorite Barbra Streisand records. The groove on this thing, holy crap, it's so smooth. One of my greatest regrets in life was calling the Bee Gees an 80s group when they're so clearly 70s. I did that for a very long time until I realized, wait, something in the simulation is off. Nothing needs to be said about this group that hasn't already been said, so if you know. Staying alive keeps me alive. I don't know about you, but that thing is just a bop. Beethoven! Woo! It would be so hilarious if Beethoven was a pop artist. I really want to know what that would sound like. The guy on the cover of this record looks like he's having an aneurysm, but I don't know what that's about. It's a nice day for a white wedding. He's kind of in like his own genre. because it is kind of pop, but it's also very rock. Rebel Yell has gotten me through a lot of interval training, is all I'm gonna say. You know, that stuff is really... Okay, so this woman not many people might know of, but Bishop Briggs, honestly, one of the coolest women I know. Her music is tough. It's tough music, you know, that's the only way I can really describe it. Okay, everybody got mad at me for the way that I pronounced this man the last time. Bonnie Vare, there, are you happy? Okay, great. I have no idea what he's singing about half the time. It's just very calming music, you know? And when I've had a stressful day, I just put this on and I space out. I don't know how else to describe it. Listening to this record is just such a trip, you know? You really do feel like you're on a night flight to Venus. If you haven't listened to Rasputin, I don't even know what you're doing with your life. Like, that song is... a classic. Okay, not gonna lie, this record, the first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is just ridiculously annoying music. But then I listened to it like 2 more times, and I was like, total eclipse of the heart! Great record. All around, every song is amazing. There are no skips on this record. Okay, guys, it's time for the Spears. My goodness gracious. I just wish I was her. Actually, maybe not. Her music really doesn't sound like anybody else's. This does take some getting used to, honestly, especially because of the whole robot voice thing. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that one. Ooh, not many people know about Daughter, which is kind of sad because they're just like, they get me in my feels every time. I hated saying that. Oh my god. It's one of my favorite indie bands, and if you haven't listened to them, definitely give it a shot. David Bowie, what else do I have to say about him? My goodness gracious, you know, legend. His last record gave me chills. The whole thing, from beginning to end, was just horrifyingly beautiful. Okay, so the second David Byrne, he was the lead singer of the Talking Heads, and he makes really weird music. It's just strange, you know? He sings about, like, elephants and laundry and ants, and it's so amazing. Depeche Mode. Okay, so the first time I heard Personal Jesus, I was, like, slightly intrigued, but honestly a little bit creeped out. And then I gave it about a week, and then I was just blasting that thing on my shuffle. It's such a good song. Dolly Parton, I mean, guys, please. Dolly Parton is a legend, honestly, and if anybody ever tells you otherwise, just smack them across the head. Donna Summer, the first pop girly, I think. I'm not sure. My favorite thing about this record is that every song on it is edited so that it kind of flows into the next. It's Dula Peep! I didn't really talk about this when it came out, but Future Nostalgia, honestly, one of the best pop records to come out probably in the past like 5 years. The whole thing is so compact, you know, when it's tight. I'm gonna admit her first record, not really my favorite. I love to see how much she's evolved from that record to create Future Nostalgia. Okay, this is by far the scariest record that I own. The Dunkirk soundtrack gives me chills. I have to listen to this record with the lights on and the door open. Cage the Elephant, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about them. I really don't. I found them probably like most people did with their song House of Glass. That thing is an angry song, to say the least. The Call Me By Your Name soundtrack is something else. There's these beautiful piano ballads. I've listened to this so many times. Now for a band that doesn't exist anymore and that I'm honestly pissed off about, Calpurnia. I wish they would come back together because I feel like they had something going for them, but you know, you don't always get what you came for. Okay, Charlie Ray Jepsen, Rarely K. Jepsen, Carly Rae Jepsen. Call me maybe, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. She usually puts out side B records after she puts out her main record, and she's one of the first artists that I've seen where the side B is usually better than the original. Clairo is another one that gets kind of hated on for just being a generic, you know, indie pop girl. She has some very sweet songs. Her voice is very nice, actually. This is the soundtrack to the chess play. If you don't know the song One Night in Bangkok, Where Have You Been? It's so strange, but so amazing at the same time. Okay, Coldplay. They are kind of reaching, you know, generic white boy band kind of status, but you know what? They still have some very good songs, so I won't deny that. Corey Hart. Sunglasses at Night. That song is so good. I, again, have no idea what he's singing about, but it's great. Okay, we are 25% of the way there. I am sweating so much right now, but let's just keep going. Hotel California. I haven't listened to this record in a really long time, which is a shame because it's a great record. I think this is just kind of more like general education at this point, if you haven't listened to it. So, Elton John, Mr. John. Such a unique artist, you know? Nobody can really do Elton John like Elton John. Okay, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So, I bought this record, the Greatest Hits one, about a year ago at this point. And then I talked in a video about how it skips on one song. And then one of you guys was gracious enough to send me your copy of the best of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh my god, like, thank you so much. If you don't know September, please, just leave. Okay, the door's over there. I'll hold it open for you, and I'll let it hit you on the butt on the way out. The Euphoria soundtrack is, honestly, it feels like what I expect an LSD trip would feel like. Eminem. I mean, do I even have to explain this? I'll admit, not the biggest fan of rap music, but that's okay. It's just not for me. And Eminem, he's one of the few rappers that I actually do enjoy. Ooh, okay, like, guys, please. Sweet dreams are made of this. Annie Lennox with that, like, fire engine red hair is, ugh, such a look. Maniac is probably one of my favorite songs ever, and that's why I bought this record. It's the Flashdance soundtrack. The whole thing feels like running at full speed. The first time I listened to Fleetwood Mac, I was like, what is this, like, whack-ass country music? And then I listened to it a couple more times, and I was like, yeah, this is something else. A couple days ago, I tried to organize my records by genre instead of in alphabetical order, and I nearly had a heart attack because I just got so overwhelmed. The fact that rock music encompasses everything from Metallica to Fleetwood Mac is enough to make me go nuts. You're telling me that Fleetwood Mac and Metallica are in the same category? No, absolutely not. They are not. They're both great in their own right, but they don't deserve to be in the same genre. Florence and the Machine. This is the only Florence and the Machine record I own, unfortunately. I haven't had time to kind of look at the rest of her discography, but I assume that it is very good, given that this record is honestly amazing. FKA Twigs did such a good job working on this that, frankly, I mean, everybody should just leave. Like, why do we even try anymore? You'll cry, you'll dance, you'll be angry listening to this thing. You'll question life. Oh my god, I've been filming for 46 minutes and I'm not even halfway. Oh my god. Relax. Don't do it when you wanna. I'm not gonna finish that song because I'll get demonetized. Maybe not PG-13. Maybe not even like PG-18 or something like that. Maybe don't listen to the lyrics too carefully when you listen to this record. But other than that, it's great. Queen, B-A-N-A-N-A-S, the pop girly of all time, really. And she hasn't even aged a bit. Can we actually talk about that? Gwen Stefani might actually be like a lizard human because where are the wrinkles? Where did they go? Gorillaz. I've listened to their entire discography, and these are my two favorite records of theirs. It's what I would assume the Talking Heads would sound like if they went electronic. Guns N' Roses, a classic. November Rain, oh my goodness gracious. I want to get married to that song. If I even will get married, but frankly, what? That song is so good. I still don't know how to pronounce this man's name, and it's been a decade. So, this man really dropped a record and then said, see ya, and never showed up again. I'm gonna admit something to you all. This record was a bit of a mistake on my end. I bought it because of Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, and I really wanted it on a vinyl, and I couldn't find it anywhere else except for here. The rest of the songs on this thing, they're not bad, but they're really weird, dude. And it's not really floating my boat. Haim? But these ladies are so dope. Their music is so cool. The Hunger Games soundtrack and the Catching Fire soundtrack are two of the best things ever made. My favorite part about the first one, there's just a bunch of like folk music for the first half, and then all of a sudden Kid Cudi comes in and drops this just banger rock hard metal. I don't even know how to describe it. It feels like how a headache would feel like. Okay, so this record a fan actually sent me, and I'm usually not the biggest fan of people sending me records because how dare you assume that I will like what you like? But you know what? You proved me wrong. You really did, because this record is great and I love playing it. Inception, featuring Matt Damon. Hans Zimmer really did a fantastic job. I've watched the movie several times. I've analyzed it too many times in English class, and I could tell you all about the themes prevalent in the story. In excess. This record is falling apart, but I got it for $5 on eBay, so I'm not complaining. So yeah, not much more to say about that. Interstellar, get lost in the universe with Matthew McConaughey. Again, Hans Zimmer did a fantastic job. Victory by the Jacksons is their best record. Straight up. Torture. Oh my god, that song goes so hard. Yeah, I'm trying to go through this really quick because, as you can tell, we have 200 of these to get through, and I'm not willing to make this video like an hour long. Okay, Janelle Monae is criminally underrated. I don't know what people are smoking. The first song I've heard of hers was Tightrope, and then that just, I just spiraled out of control, honestly, at that point. Make Me Feel, off of her most recent record. Are you kidding me? The Prince vibes on that thing. Okay, Jessie Ware put out one of the best records of 2020. What's Your Pleasure is a banger. Why aren't people talking about it as much as they're talking about Future Nostalgia? Because it might actually be better than Future Nostalgia. I'm not even kidding. And let me tell you, I love Future Nostalgia. This woman is badass, honestly. That hairdo and the guitar playing, like a legend, really. Johnny Cash's last record was terrifying and gorgeous, and it reminds me a lot of David Bowie's last one. Not musically, obviously, just kind of in concept. His last record is so intricate and haunting, and it really is beautiful. Okay, Kiss. The best of Kiss. Don't kiss me. Kissing is gross. You can get salmonella. For the longest time, I thought I Was Made for Loving You was like their only good song. And then I took a good afternoon and listened to their entire discography, and I was like, wait, what have I been missing all this time? Okay, we're halfway, and I'm exhausted, but you know what? We have another half to get through. Okay, I am going to shamelessly admit that I own the entire Lana Del Rey discography. Fight me, really. If I thought that Fleetwood Mac and Ali X and Aurora made witch music, this woman is the queen witch. This is what those three witches in Macbeth were bumping to in the middle of the night. I'll admit she does have her flaws. Some of her records do get a little bit exhausting, and her style is rather demanding because it slaps you in the face a lot of the time. But if you listen to one record here and there, especially when you paint, it's such a good muse. So this is a topic that I have been wanting to talk about for a very long time. The Last of Us, the video game. I don't play video games. I've never played a video game, and I probably never will play a video game, mostly because it scares me a little bit, and I'm not up for all of that stress. That being said, the soundtrack is a literal work of art. I've watched Let's Plays of The Last of Us probably 10 times on YouTube, and I've watched everything. I've watched from the beginning to the end, and the first one is amazing. Honestly, the story is beautiful. It definitely is one of my favorite stories in any medium ever told. Now, that being said, The Last of Us Part 2, are you sure that's a thing? Led Zeppelin. So this box set was one of my birthday gifts to myself. It wasn't terribly expensive, but it was a little bit more than I'd be willing to pay for a box of 4 LPs. I've been kind of having a Lord of the Rings, I'd say, binge for the past couple of months, I read the book, I watched the movies, I dreamed that Gollum was beside my bed, and then now I listen to the soundtrack. The LPs come in this, beautiful leather-bound box, and I bought it by accident because I thought it was just, one LP, but I didn't read the description correctly, and it's like 16 LPs or something like that, but it doesn't matter because the whole thing is gorgeous. Lord, where do we even begin with this woman? All I have to say is, Miss, we're waiting for the third album. So yeah, Lorde is definitely very responsible for much of the pop scene at the moment. Honestly, music was not the same after Royals dropped. I discovered Lord Huron with that song. What is it? It goes, what is it again? Darn it. Take me back to the night we met. Yeah, it goes something like that. I think that's it. I forgot the name. And then I fell down a rabbit hole and I listened to every song they've ever put out, and they are so talented and very, very different from anything I've ever heard before. So I just had to buy their records. Madonna? Madonna? Did someone say Madonna? Papa Don't Preach. I've been losing sleep. Papa Don't Preach, a moment. Get Into the Groove, an absolute bop. And Hung Up, are you even kidding me? The Abba sample on that song, it's so impeccable. That song is great. Maggie Rogers, okay, so it took me forever to get my hands on this record because it was sold out no matter where I went. She's another very unique artist. If you look at her live performances, you know, that she's on something, but I don't know what it is, but she's on something. Melanie Martinez, okay, her style is unlike anyone else. I remember when Dollhouse was a thing and it was like everywhere and I couldn't stop listening to it. She is so artistic. I know it's kind of controversial to like Melanie Martinez, but I don't know. Take it up with my lawyer. Again, that doesn't exist. Metallica, okay, if you're not in the right headspace, it all just sounds like screaming and really intense guitar playing. But if you give it a second, you know, it can be a bit of a vibe. Okay. Hee hee. I listen to Billie Jean when I work out. I listen to Billie Jean when I'm on a run. I listen to Billie Jean when I paint. You know, it's everywhere. It really is. History. Man, that's a deep record, and it gets you angry, but angry in a very good way. The Neighborhood. So, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't listened to them in a very long time. I bought it a year ago when I was going through my Neighborhood phase, and I played the crap out of those vinyls. I'll probably come back to them at some point, but for now, I'm kind of moving on. Nirvana. Guys. Can we just, like, for a second, Nirvana? I saw a documentary that described Kurt Cobain as the singer who could scream in tune. So this is the only record by this man that I own, but Oliver Cheatham put out a song called Get Down Saturday Night. It's funky. It's so funky and definitely worth a listen. Let's get physical. I wanna get physical! This is another artist that I'm kind of on the lookout for more records of hers because they're just so difficult to find. This entire record is so great. You'd think that Physical was like her only good song. Absolutely not. That's so offensive. Are you kidding me? Okay, this record, I haven't had the chance to listen to this whole thing front to back yet. Mainly because there's so many songs on this thing. Holy crap. Obviously, I found them through Hey, yeah. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Pat Benatar. The records were so difficult to find, but I found them and I play them like non-stop. I found her when I listened to Love is a Battlefield, and then I watched the music video and I was like, wow, that woman is so cool. And then I listened to every other song she had and I was like, wow, that woman is so cool times 10. Okay, Patrick Watson. Most people don't know who this man is, but the best way that I could describe him is that he makes music for fairies. His music is like sparkly, you know? It's so unique. Okay, Paul McCartney. I don't own any of the Beatles music, and hey, controversial opinion here, not the biggest fan of the Beatles. Okay, I'm pretty sure like everybody just unsubscribed when I said that, but I'm sorry. Hey Jude is pretty good though, but I'm not gonna spend like $30 and buy a vinyl where I only like one song. So Paul McCartney though, this record is great from front to back. I listened to it while I was redoing my closet and it made the process take like 10 hours longer because I was just getting distracted the whole time. I'm not a big fan of Post Malone, I'll admit, but this one song that he put out, Rockstar, is so great. It's such a creepy song. I don't know, man. It's a good song, is all I'm gonna say. This record by Portugal the Man was my favorite record for a very long time. Woodstock is such a complete record. This was the first record where I downloaded every single song onto my iPod like the next day because it's just so freaking fantastic. Because I feel it now and I feel it still. Yeah, that's it. Paula Abdul is the original pop girl, frankly. Nobody else can do it like her. It's just another record that's fantastic from beginning to the end. We don't need no education. Do yourself a favor and listen to The Wall. Because having them on a shirt is cool and all, but you'd be much better just listening to their music. Okay, we're almost done. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am going to lose it. Okay, Phil Collins, Face Value. In the Air Tonight is one of my favorite songs, hands down. Phil Collins is also like the king of creepy album covers. Like, what is up with these extreme close-ups? Can he, like, maybe change it up a bit? Because this is making me incredibly uncomfortable. This is the first record that I can ever remember being played for me. My dad used to play Roxanne when I was, like, 2 years old. And to this day, I have faint memories of me singing it in, like, the living room, even though I had no idea what the lyrics meant. The Pointer Sisters, okay. Their music is, like, so high energy, and it gets you so pumped. And it's fantastic. I love it. 1999. I can't listen to that record when I do homework because I won't be able to focus and do anything, frankly. It's so good. And the production is always so impeccable. The Psychedelic Furs. Okay. So, Love My Way. I heard it at Loblaws today. And I just had to, like, put down my groceries and just listen. So this is the soundtrack to The Punisher. If you don't know what that is the most violent Netflix show probably ever created. Possibly one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And the soundtrack is even better. You feel like some kind of rugged survivor man listening to that thing, frankly. Queen. Another classic. You know, what's a vinyl collection without Queen? Okay, so The Road is one of the most depressing movies I've ever watched. Straight up. You know, when people say that they want an apocalypse, they expect The Walking Dead, but really what you're probably going to get is The Road. It is so crushing and just sad. That's not even me talking about the soundtrack, too. The soundtrack matches the movie so well. Rod Stewart makes songs for, like, cool dads, but I'm not complaining because it's really good music. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, I'm a baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you probably do. So this is like a little mini LP of a violin rendition of Remembrances from Schindler's List. One of my favorite movie songs probably of all time. So I have the entire Radiohead discography. And one day, you know, I took an entire afternoon. Actually, scratch that. I took the entire day and I listened to the whole thing front to back. And I left like a different person, frankly. That you go to such dark places when you listen to Radiohead. Creep was such a moment in time. It really was. That song is a cultural reset. The Rolling Stones, Beggars Banquet. This is the only record of theirs that I own, unfortunately. There are some other ones that I'm kind of after, and I just haven't had the chance to find yet. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Been around for a long, long time. Okay, REM, Out of Time. This was another mistake on my part. I love Losing Your Religion. That song is beautiful. But this is where I kind of, you know, messed up a bit because usually before I buy a record, I like to listen to it from front to back. And I didn't do that with this record. And then when I bought it, I was like, wait, okay. I'm gonna admit, not my favorite. You know, it all just kind of sounds the same. It's just very boring, frankly. Yeah, I know I'm probably offending like every REM fan out there at the moment, but hey, it's just my opinion, you know? And I'm not here to personally offend you, so calm your tits. The Romantics in Heat, great band, you know? Talking in Your Sleep, one of the best songs of all time. Saturday Night Fever. This is essentially just another Bee Gees record, frankly. Super 70s, super disco, and I just love it. Okay, Sniffin' the Tears is a band that I don't see a lot of people talking about. I play one of their songs. It's called Driver's Seat in the beginning of my videos. A lot of people usually ask me what that song is. Well, there you have it. You know, check it out. It's a great song. Sharon Van Etten, Tramp. One letter away from being the Orange Man. Sharon Van Etten's voice gets a little bit of getting used to, because the first times you listen to it, it can kind of sound a little bit like a cat dying in an alleyway. Sia, Sia. Chandelier was one of the songs that I used to listen to nonstop in the 8th grade. I wanted to be Maddie Ziegler. Great artist, great singer. I don't know what else to say. Stevie Nicks is like the original Lana Del Rey, frankly. I feel like casting a spell whenever I listen to her music, or like, I don't know, summoning a demon or something like that. Talk about a one-hit wonder. So, Survivor dropped Eye of the Tiger and then made this record, and that was it. When I need pumping up, you know, there's no other song that can kind of get the job done except for Eye of the Tiger. So, Talking Heads, talked about them before. Strange guys. Very, very strange guys. But they're good. What the hell is Burning Down the House about? Beats me. But it's a good song. Tame Impala. I used to be a very big Tame Impala advocate, you know, kind of over it by now. But every once in a while I put on their records and it brings me back to a simpler time, you know? Tash Sultana, her guitar playing is out of this world, honestly. Her song Jungle, definitely go listen to it. I know Taylor Swift gets hate for being Taylor Swift, but frankly, Love Story, that song is part of culture, honestly. It's written into the history books. You open the Bible and it's like the second verse. I didn't even work towards this, but the other day, I realized that I know the entire lyrics to Love Story. Red and 1989 are the two other records of hers that are my favorite. Notwithstanding Folklore, though. Folklore is one of her best records. It's so refreshing to finally see her playing to her strengths. And as soon as the record comes out, I will be buying it, that's for sure. Tears for Fears. Okay. Everybody Wants to Rule the World? Yeah, well, that was the first song of theirs that I heard. And at some point, I was like, maybe I should look into this band. And then I did, and I was like, wait, these guys are, like, really cool. Tchaikovsky? Anybody wants some Tchaikovsky? You know that I used to actually do ballet? I can even go on point without using those, like, little special slippers. Two Door Cinema Club. Haven't listened to this record in a very long time. I bought it last year when I was kind of obsessed with this band. Uncharted 4. Okay, so this is a similar situation to The Last of Us. Haven't played the game. I've watched every Let's Play on YouTube possible, and I love the soundtrack. I play this thing sometimes, and I feel like I'm in a movie. Whitney Houston! Woo! Okay. The voice of a generation, honestly. Nobody will ever be able to sing like her, and nobody has. So, you know what? That's it. Point has been made. See you later. The Weeknd. Okay, so The Weeknd. Starboy was an amazing record, and then I listened to Beauty Behind the Madness, and I was like, wow, this pineapple can sing. His most recent record, After Hours, gonna buy it as soon as it comes out also. Then we have Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. It's JoJo with the Bobo. The Walking Dead soundtrack. The Walking Dead soundtrack. Guys, it's beautiful. The whole thing from beginning to end. There's country songs on it, and that's something I never thought I'd listen to. But it's great. Really. It's fantastic. Okay, this is a genuinely fantastic pop record. Zara Larsson really did the damn thing with this record. It aged so beautifully. And now she put out another song. It's called Love Me Land. Go listen to it if you're a fan of pop music. The dance and the groove on that thing. So yeah, that's my little Zara Larsson endorsement. Okay, we're on the last one. We're on the last one, guys. 5 Seconds of Summer. Youngblood, I still listen to that song today. And then when their other record came out, Calm, you know, every single that they dropped before the whole album came out was, to me, almost perfect. Oh my god. My goodness gracious. I'm done. My throat hurts. I've been filming for 2 hours. Holy crap. Okay, so, yeah. You asked for this. You did. So now you're gonna deal with the consequences. I've never talked for this long, so I think my voice is gonna be sore tomorrow. Anyways, that's it, dudes. I'm tired. Good night. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you later. Toodles.